Today is Apple Watch Ultra Day. Now, regular viewers may know that I have an absolute nightmare quite often with Apple deliveries. Things are late, they get lost, all sorts of things. But that didn't happen with my iPhone 14 Pro Max. This arrived on time, and I really am hoping that the Apple Watch Ultra does the same thing. And in fairness, on the Apple Store app, it does tell me that it's due for delivery today. So it's all looking fine so far. The only slight issue is that I've just realised I'm waiting for two parcels today, the Apple Watch Ultra and the AirPods Pro 2. I've got a feeling that the text message I've just had is about the AirPods, which are more boring. But I do have a more pressing issue with this, which is, why have I bought the Apple Watch Ultra? Oh, and by the way, I've got a yellow eye because of eye drops. It's an eye thing, don't worry, I've not been punched, it's all fine, don't worry about it. I'm not an elite runner. I'm not an elite athlete. I've never, ever been deep sea diving. Probably never will. And I have never in my entire life had to call base camp. In fact, the only running I do is a short 5k jog around the block. And that all begs the question, why have I bought an Apple Watch Ultra, which has arrived? I think Apple knows exactly what it's doing with this. They know that most people who buy this watch aren't abseilers. Abseiling? That's not one of them, is it? They're not scuba divers. You probably can go abseiling with it, to be fair. They're not mountaineers. They're not the sort of people that hike up Everest. They're people like me and possibly you. Maybe you are a hiker who does all that really crazy stuff. If you are, get involved in the comments. I'd love to know what you think of this. But I think that Apple knows that most people buying the Apple Watch Ultra are regular, normal human beings like me. And what I want to know is how this watch performs for that audience. What's it like if you just want the Apple Watch Ultra? And over the next few weeks, I'm going to be testing that. I've got a plan for this, which I'll reveal at the end of this video. But now, in this incredibly hot studio, sorry if I look a bit of a mess, I'm going to unbox the Apple Watch Ultra. So immediately, the box looks incredibly different to the previous Apple Watch boxes. It's this kind of, I don't know, I'm not sure what it is. It feels very special already. So let's get into it. I've gone with the titanium case, which is the only case you can get, to be fair. I've gone with the titanium case with the orange Alpine loop, 49mm medium. I hope I got that right. You've probably seen all these unboxings already, but I might as well do it. Oh, very nice. Immediately we're kind of thrown into this world of hiking and extreme endurance. Big booklet here, not sure what's in here. Okay, probably won't ever read that. That's the watch in there, we'll get that in a moment. And here's the strap, and that's it. I don't think, there's no stickers. Tim, why are there no stickers? Let's do the watch. That's why you've come here. Here we go, let's get into it. This already feels quite special. So let's get this out first. Ooh, maybe there's stickers in here. Nope, no stickers. But we do have a lovely braided charging cable. Feels different because it's got this kind of, I assume, metal around it as well. But yeah, braided cable. I love Apple's cables at the moment, they're fantastic. Right, let's get the main event out. Immediate thoughts. It's not as heavy. In fact, it's nowhere near as heavy as I thought it would be. That's quite a surprise. That's a nice surprise, actually. Wow. Wow, that is incredibly shiny. This is a serious bit of kit, guys. I had a feeling I was going to be impressed by this, and again, I said this about the dynamic island thing on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. That feature, along with the iOS 16 lock screen and stuff, makes the new iPhone Pros feel new. And we've not had that for a little while. I've unboxed lots of Apple Watches and they've always felt the same. This is different. This is another game, as it should be, bearing in mind this cost £849. I can't even get my words out. I'm that kind of excited. And anyway, we'll put that there for the minute. And this is the orange, remind myself, the orange Alpine loop. I went for this because I like orange. No stickers, Tim Allen, of course not. And again, I kind of guessed a little bit the size. I went for the medium. It's very orange. It looks like it's ready to go up a mountain. I'm probably gonna get this wrong to begin with, but I'm just gonna put it on there anyway. There we go. There it is, guys. I don't often get lost for words when I'm unboxing things, but this is fascinating. It doesn't look like an Apple Watch. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like. I need to get it on my wrist, don't I? I need to show you what it looks like on the wrist. Let's put that round there like that. Now, immediate thoughts about it on my wrist. It's big. It's really big. It doesn't look overly over big, if that makes sense. So when I first put the Watch 5 Pro on, the Samsung Watch 5 Pro, that felt and looked ridiculous at first. I don't know why, but it's kind of settled since then. It feels a bit more, normal now. Now I've been wearing it for a few weeks. My initial straightaway reaction with this is that, yes, it's a big watch, but it doesn't look out of place at the moment. The orange is very orange. Incredibly orange. Now I do have a plan with this Apple Watch Ultra, which I will reveal at the end of this video. But what I'm going to do now is get this set up as a new watch. I'm not transferring anything from the old one. Obviously pair it with my iPhone 14 Pro Max and then get on with the rest of my day. Depending on how much battery's in this, I won't charge it. I'll just go to bed with it as it is, leave it on my wrist overnight, do the sleep tracking, and over that time, just get some thoughts together, some more initial thoughts about the watch. So I'm going to go and do that now, and with a snap of my fingers, it's going to be tomorrow. Ready? Good morning. Right, the Apple Watch had 89% in the battery out of the box. I went to bed at about 11:30, bit of a late night for me, and at that point, made some notes, it had 64% battery left. Interesting. And I've just woken up, roughly. It is about 20 to 7 in the morning, and it now has 58% battery. So, just been for a run. Cellular on, just using the AirPods connected to the Apple Watch Ultra, no phone, and we're now down to 45%. So those aren't really proper battery tests. I've not even had this thing for 24 hours yet. I need longer with it. But I have put together a list of completely random, unrelated thoughts about it in the last few hours. The first thing is the siren, which is very loud. And this is obviously for attracting attention if you get lost up a mountain. You basically hold down the action button, and then you get an option to sound the siren. And then it gets louder and louder and louder and quite uncomfortably loud in a room like this. So that's really impressive. Also, the big looks, they die down relatively quickly actually on my arm. I don't have particularly big wrists, and it did look big to begin with as you saw yesterday, but I've got used to it actually, and it doesn't feel too cumbersome. However, my girlfriend tried it on last night and it looked huge on her wrist. And the main problem was the watch itself, which was just too big for her arm. So clearly you need to like big watches or have particularly big arms if this is going to work for you. I think the orange was the perfect colour for me. I love the look of the band and also the titanium together. I think it looks really smart, really ready literally for action. The one thing I was worried about was the crown grabbing my arm hair. That doesn't happen, I can confirm, because it is actually raised above your wrist, so it's not really in the danger zone. And it does look like an expensive Apple Watch. You do feel like you're getting a lot for your money. But regardless of those rugged good looks, I still worry about it. I still worry about knocking it against door frames and potentially scraping it against a wall. So it doesn't feel immediately indestructible, but it does feel tough, if that makes sense. One thing that did surprise me is the buttons. The digital crown button and also the action button are very easy to press. They don't need much depressing to activate, which isn't a big deal really. I'd like a little bit more of a click really. And the only issue that I have come up against with that is I tend to hold the Apple Watch like this when I'm pressing the crown, and what I keep doing at the moment is pressing the action button at the same time, because that never used to be there on my old Apple Watches. It's there now, and I find myself pressing the crown and starting a workout at the same time. That will probably just come with practice, I suppose, but it's a bit annoying at the moment. It's also the brightest Apple Watch display I've ever seen. It's 2000 nits, which is ridiculous for a watch anyway, but you really see the effect of that outside. It's so legible in direct sunlight. Call quality? Well, I tried that as well. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Mark, what's up? I'm calling you from my new Apple Watch Ultra. How does it sound? It sounds amazing. You just caught me
Climbing Everest.
climbing Everest, right?
I have you. I'm gonna put you up to the mic because I think you sound really crisp. But I just want to have my viewers listen.
Yeah. Well, I can confirm this side as well, Patrick. You sound beautifully crisp. It's like it's what I'd expect from the Apple Watch Ultra. It should sound this crisp, really, but I could handle this. I think this would work perfectly no matter what you're doing with your running, walking, climbing, scuba diving. Not so sure about that, but yeah, you're crystal clear.
Please do search for Patrick Rambles on YouTube. He has a fantastic channel. Make sure you subscribe. Special shout out to the red dark mode thing. I'm not sure what the official name is. When you use the Wayfinder watch face like this one, if I twist the crown, it goes into this red Knight Rider type thing, which looks awesome. In fact, it looks so awesome, I'm tempted to keep it like that all the time. So when it comes to a normal person like me who doesn't do all of this crazy endurance stuff, is it worth £849? I think there's a few elements to this. The first thing is that it does feel like an expensive Apple Watch, like I mentioned earlier, so you don't feel shortchanged. Therefore, if you just want one and you've got the budget for it, go for it. However, I would urge you to go to an Apple store and check out one of these on your wrist first, because I do think it suits certain types of wrists and certain preferences for the way that watches look. The worst thing you could do is get it, love it, but find that it's just too big for your wrist. Also, I'm not convinced it's what I'd call a posh watch. So I don't go out very often to dinner parties and galas. I never go to galas, but I wouldn't wear this with a tuxedo, or if I was going to a wedding, for instance, I don't think this would work. So if you do want an Apple Watch that seamlessly transfers from being this endurance athlete thing to a going out watch, you're probably going to be better off with a Series 7 or Series 8. But I have got lots more testing to do, and in a few weeks' time, I'm taking this hiking. Now, I'm not going to scale Everest or anything like that. I'm going to go to the Peak District, which is a lovely part of the UK, not that far from where I live. I'm going to undertake a 10-mile circular route, which looks relatively tough. It should put me to work and hopefully the watch to work as well. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss that video. And if you've enjoyed this one, just give us a cheeky thumbs up, please, because that really helps the channel. And if you've still got some time and you want to find out what I think about the iPhone 14 Pro Max, keep watching for a link to that first impressions video.